Today is the launch of CNN Philippines' first ever podcast, Suddenly Family. The podcast follows people who discover they aren't related to their known family and forge bonds with their newly discovered blood relatives. Take a look at this episode, exploring how two families from the Philippines and the U.S. suddenly become one.
This is Suddenly Family. I'm Samuel Burke, and these are the true stories of people's lives forever changed by at-home DNA tests. Wayne Lane lives in Alabama, and his DNA discovery sets off a domino effect going all the way to Asia and back.
He had told me a story about going into the Philippines and trying to smuggle alcohol back onto the ship.
The name she gave him was made up. It was totally fictitious.
There's no way that information would have gotten overseas. It just wouldn't have happened. And I thought, maybe I'm better off leaving this alone.
A man from Alabama holds the fate of a man from the Philippines in his hands. That's coming up on Suddenly Family.
Well, joining us now are the two men who discovered their very close relative. John Tompkins, who hails from Olongapo City and now resides in California, and Wayne Lane, live from Alabama. Now, we won't give away the big mystery on your journey to find out your connection, but Wayne, let's start with you, because you were the one who saw John on your DNA links. What went through your mind when you made this discovery?
Really wanted to help him. I knew we were closely related. I wasn't exactly sure how. I really wanted to see if I could find out who he was related to.
Right. You know, what went through your mind, though? I mean, what did you think the connection was? Surely you had some kind of inkling.
To begin with, I thought that I had several uncles that were in World War II, and it wouldn't have been a stretch for them to be in the Philippines. I thought he was my nephew, but it turns out he was a bit closer.
Right. It's a fascinating story. It really is. Now, John, you didn't know who your biological father was, but why did you think your knee-jerk reaction to a possible link to Wayne's family was to actually delete the notification? Your first thought was, wait, I don't want to have anything to do with this.
That's correct. There was two things that went to my mind. The first one was I had a father growing up that I have a very strong relationship with, and I didn't want to upset him. And the second thing that was going through my mind was just the fear of the unknown, not knowing the circumstances which I was conceived, and the fear of how was I going to be received to this new family.
All right. Now, Wayne, what would you say to someone who might hear these wild DNA sagas in the new podcast and have reservations about getting the DNA test? I mean, there are stories which are going to end well. There are stories which may sort of uncover, family secrets, family hurts, things that don't necessarily want to be discussed out in the open. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What would you say as a whole?
Well, I think you need to go in with your eyes wide open. Mm-hmm. We were fortunate. I understand a lot of people weren't. But you can't have stories like ours if you don't try.
Right.
So go in with your eyes wide open and don't go with preconceived notions. Just understand it may not turn out right.
Right. A question for both of you, maybe. Where are you guys now in terms of how you guys have developed in terms of suddenly realizing that you have this branch of family or extended family that you never knew was there? How has it changed your family now, and how does it feel to suddenly realize you may have a larger family than you originally thought? John?
It was amazing. The fact that they were so welcoming and just welcomed me, my wife, my kids, really showed me what a great family I came from. And I wish every DNA story could end like mine.
And like we said, there are good endings. There are unusual twists and turns to these family sagas. But like I said, it is an extremely fascinating story. I, for one, am really looking forward to the series. I'm looking forward to learning more about your story. And I think many, many other people are. And it will open doors and open the eyes of many people out there about the possibilities of DNA testing and the possibility of suddenly having a family that you never knew was there. We want to say thank you to John Tompkins in California and Wayne Lane from Alabama. Suddenly Family is now available for free on Spotify and everywhere that you get podcasts. Wayne, John, thank you so much.